Boys among those teams still on the field for OTLs as well. They will work today, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. And nobody, of course, knows the Cowboys better than our Ed Werder. Ed joins us now from the NFL Insiders studio. And Ed, let's start with linebacker Sean Lee. Tore his ACL last week during OTAs. He's expected now to miss the entire season, a big loss. What potential issue would the NFLPA have with that non-contact practice?
Well, we know that the NFL Players Association has already reached out to some of the Cowboy players who were there that day to ask them exactly what took place on the play on which Sean Lee was injured for the season in a non-contact drill. You see it here. Zach Martin makes clear contact with him. The two things that the NFLPA will want to know before it files a request for the practice tape, which is tantamount to making an accusation of wrongdoing. The two issues here are, did the contact play a role in the injury? The people at Valley Ranch within the Cowboys organization will tell you that they believe the injury happened when Sean Lee slipped a millisecond before the contact with the oncoming offensive lineman. The other issue is the practice tempo. Was that accelerated tempo that seemed to exist on that play carried out throughout the course of the entire practice, or was that an isolated type of incident? If the NFLPA determines that this is a fair question to ask, then it would make a request for that tape and submit it to the NFL. And if the Cowboys were found in violation, they could lose future practice sessions.
And Ed, that process notwithstanding, the Cowboys have to move on. What is the plan in Dallas to replace Lee?
Well, you know, Sean Lee's their most indispensable defensive player. The worst defense in the NFL last season without now DeMarcus Ware, Jason Hatcher, and Sean Lee, their middle linebacker, who also calls all the signals. Ideally, I'm told the Cowboys would like some of their young players to be able to develop and compete for that starting position. But if that doesn't work out, they have begun the process of evaluating other options, including veteran players like Jonathan Vilma and Brian Urlacher. Now, Brian Urlacher, of course, played his final seasons in Chicago under current Cowboys defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli. There has been no dialogue between the player and the team at this point. There's been a lot of internal discussion within the Cowboys organization. They are interested in Urlacher to the point that their scouting department has evaluated his tapes the final season. I think they have concerns about his ability to get off blocks. They would have to cover for him in certain situations, but obviously he'd add a lot of leadership. He'd have the ability to call the defenses, be given his familiarity with them. It just remains to be seen whether they decide to go that direction or not. I think Urlacher, Wendy, would tell you that he played through a lot of injuries his last year, and being off for a season might be beneficial.